All right, getting a chance to catch up with Warwick Girls soccer head coach Wendell Hannaford, and a big challenge for you this year is just replacing the amount of senior leadership that you had on the team from last year. But again, you'll be fine, you'll figure it out. But what is that like as a head coach?
Yeah, it's interesting. Graduated, I think 12, 13 seniors. I think 8, 9 of them had 4 years of varsity experience. So was a nice for us for the past 4 years. Those ladies did great. Ella Shirk, Alicia Sonder, Amber Garman, Grace Bowman, Grace Rothenberger. I could keep going. McKenna Snavely, yeah. But we've had this before. In 2020 when we made districts that COVID year, I graduated 12, and that was the Lauren Piles and Jess Williamsons and that group. So been through that. We've seen it. It's one of those things as a coach. It's kind of interesting and fun because you're replacing those players obviously that have done so much, but it's exciting because it's a lot of players now, a lot of potential, a lot of young talent that can now step into the program and kind of make their mark. And based on what we do this year, if we can put our the right foot forward, we'll have a pretty successful another 3, 4, 5 years. So it's interesting. High school soccer is cyclical, and we're kind of in that new cycle, and I'm excited to kind of get running with them.
So when you look at kind of the makeup of the team this year, what are the strengths? Obviously it's not going to be a ton of senior leadership, but there's got to be some other stuff that you're excited about.
Yeah, I think the core players that are returning with varsity experience, I think they are players that I look at that they've understood the program, the culture, the environment, and understanding your role within that. So I think that leadership there is going to help. I think we have a lot of young, hungry, talented players that are itching for that next level. They got a taste of it and want that next bit. So I think our strengths are going to be kind of what is maybe a hallmark of our program, where it's we're going to battle. No game's going to be easy against us. We're going to make teams fight for it and earn it. Even though we lost our first round district game in the overtime last year, we scored with 40 seconds left to tie it up. So my girls, they fight till the end, and I think that'll stay as a part of this program. And I'm really excited. I think we're going to be very technical. I think we're going to be able to continue playing a fun brand of soccer that's not kick and run. It's looking to move the ball, break lines, get in behind, get crosses, get shots at goal. So I think attacking-wise, possession-wise, we're going to be very strong and dynamic. We have a lot of speed, a lot of talented players on the ball in the attacking areas of the field. And I think we're going to still be, it's a battle defensively. We're going to be tough to break down. When teams get past us, we've always had strong keepers. I think we have that as well. So I think we're going to be a complete team. The experience in those tight games, we're going to have to grow through it, because the best experience you get is playing. So I think that's the one area where we're really going to have to make sure we buy into the process and understand each game is a learning experience and make sure we learn from it.
Well, you were in a tough Section 2 last year. Yeah. It's going to be the same this year. Section 2, never a joke. What did you learn from last year that you guys can really capitalize on this year?
Yeah, so we definitely familiar with a lot of the teams, with the club that I coach with. I coach a lot of the players, so I know them pretty well. I try and get out, see the players, see the schools in their scrimmages, and try and get some games there. But with Section 2, moving from Section 1, what I learned is Section 1, Section 2 are both dogfights. And last year, even though we didn't win the section, we lost one game and didn't win the section, and we tied Cocalico, who did win the section. And Dan's a friend and someone that I've known for a long time. So those games are always going to be a battle. Central's always a battle. E-Town. There's no easy game in Section 2. So really it's making sure we focus on what we're good at, making sure the stuff that we are able to do well, we can translate into the game and limit the other teams, because we all know each other pretty well. So it's those fine margins and making sure you execute.
Now, you guys had a little bit of a taste of the postseason last year. how do you talk with the girls about wanting to kind of reach that again, but go past it, but also not focus on it all year? How do you as a head coach handle that?
Yeah, so since I took over, we've made districts, I think 6 or 7 times. We've been to leagues multiple times, league final, league semis. We went to district semifinals, first time in program history. We went to states. So really our expectation every year is sections, leagues, districts, states. Like if you don't have those goals, kind of like what are you doing? And I think we've shown that we're capable of performing, again, especially being a small dog in a big dog world. We can definitely be that dog that, makes life difficult for people. So we kind of enjoy that. But directly to your question, one of the things we as a coaching staff and the players I think that have bought in, we don't look at like this is where we want to end up. Those section leagues, districts, all that. That's where we want to end up. But how do we get there? It's setting goals as a team that allow for that. It's like, how are you as a teammate? How are you acting as a teammate? And if you're accomplishing that, then you're a step closer to that final goal, that end point. How are you training? Are you training, are you just kind of going through the motions in training, or is it intentional? Is everything you're doing, is there a purpose to it? It's focusing on those things so that your end goals are reached, because you can want whatever. People want things all the time. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. What are you willing to do, and what have you identified as important to get you there? So how you are as a teammate, how you're training, your training habits, what your training habits are like, your mindset, the mentality, your willingness to embrace your role within the team. Not everybody can start. Not everybody can play 80 minutes. That's tough, especially when you have 40 kids and 11 varsity field spots available. So are you willing to embrace that role where maybe if you go in for 5 minutes, if you make it the best 5 minutes, you're helping the team, and maybe that turns into 10, 15, and 20. So those little aspects, I think, are what we really try and focus on as a program to achieve that final product.
Perfect. Well, we'll see how that all works out for you guys. And again, we'll have the Warwick ladies on plenty of time this fall, and looking forward to that. But of course, thanks for coming on, and always appreciate catching up with you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chad.